All right, so we're taking this walking bass that we learned, and we're going to try to apply this to a blues. I'm going to pretty much use these two shapes, B flat 7 and then a ninth chord, and I think I can pretty much almost get everything in with these two shapes. So if you had a bass line on B flat, you know, the first place to look for a bass line is just root and fifth, even if you're playing Latin stuff, but that's a 2 feel, like 1, 2, 1. So if you want to walk a bass line, you throw in the arpeggio, but there really ain't no jazz in there because there's no tension. You could even make it a little jazzier by throwing in root, third, fifth, sixth, root. Go speed racer, dippy dippy doo doo. Speed racer, go speed racer. Right? Sounds like some kind of cheap insurance commercial or something. But I've got this one measure, B flat 7, and then I'm going to go to E flat 7 for the 4 chord for the next measure. So I'm going to go 1, and then do a half step here into my E flat. Now E flat, my arpeggio is up here, but this doesn't sound very bassy. It sounds too trebly. So I'm going to jump the octave here. So here I'm going to go E flat 9, but then jump down with 1, and then maybe bring in with 2, and I want to go back to B flat. So it's going to be B flat, E flat, B flat, and I can just loop this. I would suggest just looping these first two chords before you go any further. Take one bite, chew it up. I'm going to use a lot of 2. I might even use 2 there. You could use pinky there. You could use 3 here. Whatever you do, just make sure you end up with 2 here. Then I'm going to try to keep this chord kind of sustained while I jump that down. Of course, my poor little wrist is all crooked. It wouldn't be if I were holding it like this, but I'm not going to do that. And then I'm probably going to go chord, 1, 1, and then come in with 2, and then go chromatic into my B flat. I'm always going to want to lead into, going to use 2 primarily almost all the time, exclusively. So those are the first 2 measures. But the next measure, I'm going to go from B flat 7 for a measure, but I want to end on F. So here I'm going to go chord and chromatic into the F. F minor 7. Caddy corner, B flat 7. Opposite caddy corner, E flat 9. So these are the next 2 measures on the first line. Chromatic into F, caddy corner, chord, caddy corner. Oh, what did I show you? Sorry. I go 5 here into E flat 9. I just did a variation. I did above. Same thing. But what I have written down here is below. And notice that my B flat, my first finger is right here. That's another genius reason to always start with your second fingers, because if you need a note below, you can get it. If you need above, you can get it. So here's the second line. It's E flat 9. I walk back down to here, but I come back up with E flat. It really should be a diminished chord where I'm even getting in the E note right here. That's the note that I've got scribbled out on your page. This is a B flat diminished. It's a D flat diminished. It's an E diminished. It's a G diminished. It's all these diminished chords. But I'm just going to do this cool little, like almost a surf thing. Little half step. Kind of like a surf rock or something. So I'm going to go E flat 9. This is the beginning of the second line. Come up with a B flat diminished, or you could just call this shape number 4. And I go up a minor third and half steps into B flat 7. Now here I'm going to hit the chord twice. A7. Now I've got it written like this. Chord, chord, chord. But I might go 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Once again, I think I said I was just taking the long way to my 6. Then on the G7, I'm going to hit a quick 2 right here, which leads me into C minor 7. Start with a whole step, then chromatic. Start with a whole step, then go chromatic and B flat. So here's my C minor 7, F7, B flat. But notice those 2 measures are all on one note, one string. chord, note, 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 ninth, note, 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 ninth. And now here's a turnaround, 1, 6, 2, 5, but up here. Passing note, chord, catty corner passing note, Carlos Santana. What do I do here? This way. And then I should end on, go back to the beginning, B flat 7. So here's the last line. Cool. 2, 5, 1, 6, 2, 5. And on this stuff, I can start doing variations just like we did on the other video where I do 1 below, 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 or I can do all above, 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 above. And I think what I have written here is this. Then back to B flat 7. So do it as I have written, and then we can figure out the variations later. But be aware that I might put in a variation somewhere just because I don't do things that are written. Sometimes it's a chord, sometimes on the upbeat. Cool, any other questions?